Hi everyone, my name is Sumaya Ahmed and I am the Virtual Content Specialist for 7th grade science. This video is part 2 of the 2 videos that I made on Newsela. And Newsela is a literacy-focused educational platform with a wide variety of nonfiction texts. And I go over the resources available on Newsela in part 1 of the video. So here, I will just go over more resources and ideas for classroom activities with students. So if we go to the Newsela website, and again, on the first video, I show you how to search for articles, but you can click on the search bar and put in a keyword. So for this one, I put symbiosis, and they have a lot of options. You can modify it by text level, reading skills, suggested for collections, and you can add more filters. But what's helpful is that they give you options for single articles, but they also have text sets, okay, which are a combination of articles are related to one central theme, and then they have activities and questions and interdisciplinary tasks related to those texts. So if we click on one, I wanted to show you some resources that they have here. And this is called Symbiosis, the Art of Living Together. And it is intended to be for middle school. They tell you the organization, so it's by National Geographic Society. Now, if you click on the resources and activities here, I'm just going to refresh. They expand the activities. So again, we went through this before. They have interdisciplinary activities, they have a quiz, and if you click on this option here called Lesson Sparks, it shows you all the options for lessons that you can do. And ideally, they said it should be completed in 60 minutes, or it should take the whole period, or if you want to break it down into 2 periods, you can. So it says first assign all students the article. You can assign the article. Sometimes if it's a text set, this was just a single article, remember, but if there is a text set that you want to choose, then there will be different articles. Here it says you can assign them the first article and then they choose another article to read, which is great because you can give students options. And then if some students, if they choose different articles and if they're sitting in one table, then they can share out what they learned from that article and share with each other. And here they have activities. So it says before reading, you can use a vocab chart and a BBC video, which is great because you have some differentiation there as well to get students a more visual representation of symbiotic relationships. So if you click on the vocabulary chart, it looks like this, and this is great because you can use it for any article. You can have these printed out. You can have them included in student folders for the whole unit. So here it's general, so it's a vocabulary word, prediction, what you think it means, a definition, draw or write an example, and use it in a sentence. So again, this is a general vocabulary chart that you can use for all the articles. And then they said to use these words. Then there is a BBC video that they watch. And over here, this is great for annotating texts. So again, the whole class is supposed to read the Symbiosis, the Art of Living Together, So as you read it, they are asked to highlight information summarizing different types of symbiotic relationships in red. In blue, highlight examples of different types of symbiotic relationships. And over here, and they have an annotation tool here in the platform, but if you're not using it, you can just print out the articles and give students highlighters and they can highlight. And this is for the first article. For all other articles, it says to highlight in green. So you can decide how you want students to annotate, but here they just have some suggestions, which is great. And then after reading, they have activities. So again, they have a vocabulary chart, which you can complete. They have the symbiotic relationship card sort, which I will show you, which is a great activity. So there are two ways you can do this. If you're teaching remote, you can make a Jamboard out of this. If you are teaching in person, you could print this out. So it's up to you how you want to do it. But they have the definitions here. Uh, they it's a card sort, so usually, ideally, they would want teachers to cut these out and have students glue them on this table. But again, it depends on what method of teaching you are doing. So here they have all these relationship cards. So they have predation cards, um, uh, parasitism cards. And again, you would only know the groups, but once you cut them out, students will not know which is which, and they would have to sort them to this table. So whether it's a commensalist relationship, mutualistic, parasitic, or predatory. Okay, and then maybe they can compare answers with other students, um, and you can choose one. And if students want to see pictures, so if I would differentiate this, I would add some pictures just so they can have some visual supports to each of these cards. And this is a great activity for a card sort and for students to get familiar with the different types of symbiotic relationships. And again, there's a vocabulary chart, and then they have a draw the line activity. Uh, and this is one idea. And then over here, they have the standards related to the activities and the articles in this lesson. Another thing that you can do is you can create your own graphic organizer for these articles. So I use one which I will share with you. This is a general one that I use for any article that we read. So this is great if you have a habit of reading an article each week, and students will know how to complete this graphic organizer. So this is called a nonfiction first read organizer, and I an ELA teacher shared this with me, so I decided to use it in my class as well. And this is a general organizer, and you can use this for any single article that you read. Uh, and if you want to make it a little bit more specific and add specific questions based on the article, then you can. But I just think this is a great organizer to have in stock, just so if there's an article that you read, you can pull it up right away and students can complete it without you having to modify it every time. So I usually have these printed in stacks in my classrooms. So here is the space for the article title. So again, if it's general, if you want to make it a general graphic organizer, then the students would write in or type in the article name. And then it's notice, what is the text about, who is involved. There's a word study section to list 3 new or unusual vocabulary words, define them, and create a unique sentence using the new words. You can decide what you want to do here. Connect the ideas in this text to other concepts you have learned in science. So this is nice because they can make connections with other concepts that they learned. Here is a summary, and then here is the purpose of the article. So this is great, just a general graphic organizer to have, just so they can summarize and synthesize what they learned from the readings from Newsela. So let's just go back and summarize our highlights of Newsela. First, they have a wide collection of nonfiction texts for various topics. They can be modified by reading level, which is great for differentiation. They also have rich visuals and videos related to each topic. You can assign the lessons to your Google Classroom or have students sign in, and you can create a Google Classroom on the platform. Each article comes with supporting questions, activities, and tasks, and you can use the quizzes to track progress for certain skills, which is great if you want to check mastery for skills. They also have handouts and documents which you can print out related to each article or assign them to your digital classroom. You can also assign certain articles to specific students. So again, remember I said you can add in your class roster. You can assign certain articles to specific students, another way to differentiate. They also have interdisciplinary tasks, ideas related to the articles. And again, like I mentioned before, as of recently, they did modify some of their free articles. So a lot of the articles that were available before are not available any longer and require subscription. However, if you have the free subscription, you know, the articles are limited, but you still have access to a good amount of articles. And if you buy the subscription for school, then you will have access to all their resources. So, Newsela is a great literacy focused digital platform with a wide variety of resources and features for both students and teachers. Thank you for watching.